Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be a bit different. This video goes out to all of you watching right now who are planning to come to Canada to either study, work, or simply just start a new life here, but perhaps you're not a fresh graduate, or you feel you're not that young anymore and you have your doubts about whether or not it's too late to make that move. And the reason why I thought it's important to make this video is because before I came to Canada, before I moved here, I also had those kind of thoughts, those kind of negative thoughts that prevented me from making a move. I was thinking that maybe it's already too late now and it's too complicated and will it work or not. But in the end, it all worked out and it wasn't as difficult and not as complicated as I thought. And I even thought that I should have started this whole process earlier, because now here I am in Canada, in Toronto, and I've been here living with my husband for about 2.5 years, and we're so happy here. We're so happy and grateful that we've made this move, that we had the courage to change something about our lives. And yeah, granted, it was not easy in the beginning. It was not easy to make that move, but it was totally worth it. So the goal of this video today here is that I just want to encourage you and help you guys if you have these kind of doubts, so that you can have the courage to move on and to make that change in your life despite having these fear and these doubts. So today is going to be a bit of a different kind of video. It's kind of a more motivational video, and to be honest, I'm not really used to making this kind of videos because if you look at my other videos previously on this channel, Living in Canada, my videos were more of the informational type, where I share with you about an aspect of living in Canada, about renting an apartment here, going to school here, and so on. And yeah, while I love making those videos, I think it's also important to have these kind of videos where I simply provide some encouragement for those of you who are about to come to Canada, about to move to Canada, or anywhere else in the world. And one of the other reasons that I'm making this video is also because I've recently thought about a friend of mine in Indonesia who is in her late 30s and who has been planning to move overseas and start a new life for almost 10 years or even more than 10 years. But for various reasons, she just didn't start and didn't make that move. And some of the reasons were because she's already established in Indonesia, she already has a career, she has a high position, a good salary, and she's married, she has a family. But actually deep down inside, she knows that she would really love to live overseas again. I think in her case it's Australia, but it just hasn't happened for her until now. And here I want to correct myself. I mean, it's not that it hasn't happened to her, but she didn't make it happen, because with anything in life, you have to make things happen. Things that are really important to you will not just happen or come out of the blue. You really have to work hard towards it and stay focused. So that is what I want to talk about today. I want to share with you a bit of my own experience as well. So some of you might think that moving overseas to study again or work in a new country is maybe for people who are younger, who are in their early or mid-20s, who just graduated or are early on in their career and who still have a lot of energy and still have their whole life ahead in a way, and that's like the perfect time to make a move. And of course I agree with that in a way. Of course, when you're younger and maybe you don't have a family yet, you can afford to risk more. Maybe that's the perfect time. But the thing is that things in life, great and important things in life, don't always happen at the perfect time. And if it's something that is really important to you, for example, you really want to move to Canada for some reason, then no matter what age you are, you have to make it happen. Of course, maybe there is a certain age where it might be difficult. Maybe if you're already 60 or 70 years old, it might be very difficult to make that move on your own without being sponsored by a family, etc. But if you are anywhere in your end 20s and 30s or even 40s, I can see no reason why you shouldn't try making that move. In fact, I've seen a lot of people here who've come to Canada, coming from Asian countries, from the Philippines, from India, who are already in their late 30s or early 40s, and they successfully made that move. They moved over here with their family, and now they're so happy about it. And don't get me wrong, I'm using the word already in their end 30s or already in their early 40s, not meaning that that is an old age. I don't mean that at all. What I mean is that from their perspective, these people saying it, they often think that they are already too old, that it's too late, where in fact it isn't. So when I came over here to Canada, I wasn't a fresh grad at all, and I wasn't early on in my career. If I give you some context, if I go back in my career and life, I already studied in Germany. I got a master's degree there, and I moved back to Indonesia. I worked in banking for 5 years as project manager and in strategic business management, and everything was really going well. I also even moved to Singapore, worked there for a while, came back to Indonesia again, and I had a major career change too. I changed from the financial industry to the entertainment industry, and I produced 2 independent feature films back in Indonesia. So I had a long career history even before I made the move to Canada, both I and my husband. So just recently, about 2.5 years ago, is when we finally moved to Canada. So that was quite recent. And I think that it is not that complicated and not as hard as I thought. In the beginning, I was almost letting go of that dream to move and live overseas again, because I thought that it's too much work. Like my chances are so low. I mean, even if I'd apply for PR, express entry, I wouldn't get in because I might not get enough points and so on. But it turned out that it wasn't that difficult at all. And I'm going to share with you that story in another video, which I will launch soon after this one. So in that video, I will share with you how long it actually took me from actively planning to come to Canada, applying to study here until I arrived here in Toronto, Canada. So if you don't want to miss out on that video, don't forget to subscribe. And also don't forget to hit the notification bell, because only if you do will YouTube actually notify you when there are new videos from me. So you watching right now might be at a very similar stage as I was. You might have already worked in a certain career for many years, and you already have a family, and you have doubts about whether you can make the move and whether it will be worth it in the end. I can only say for myself and for many of my other friends who made the move that it was totally worth it. It was totally worth all the work. And the only thing that you need to have if you want to make that move to Canada or to any other country is that you must have the focus. Despite everything that's going on in your daily life, you have to have the focus, and you have to put aside some time, let's say every weekend, for one day to work on your dream to make it happen. And the other thing is also that you have to have the willingness to start over again. Starting over doesn't always necessarily mean that you start from the very bottom, but it might mean that you need to make some sacrifices. So let's say that in your home country, whether that is in India or Malaysia, Indonesia, the Philippines, and so on. Let's say that there you are already at a very high position in your company, and you have a great salary and everything. You have a big house even, and you even have maids or drivers that work for you. But when you come to Canada, you might not be able to start at the exact same position where you left off. So you might, when you move here, need to take a step back for a year or two. But don't worry about that, because if you do a really good job, if you're great at your job or whatever you do, you'll be able to catch up very soon. And also, when you just moved here, it might be necessary that you live at a smaller place at first. Perhaps you even need to live in a 1-bedroom apartment or studio apartment, something really small. But That's just in the beginning. Once you're settled here and you slowly increase your earning potential, then you can always move to a bigger place. So that shouldn't be something that discourages you. So I hope that this video was able to give you a bit of encouragement and motivation. In case you have any questions or any comments, then please do feel free to put them in the comments below, and I will try my best to get back to you. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll talk to you again soon.